Ladies and gentlemen, here's by the dual Group 1 winner in Kermadec. Haven't they sold well this year? Haven't some good trainers bought them? He's a nice, attractive sort of colt, isn't he? Hey, doesn't he look like a racehorse?
I thought Brian Nutt has done a terrific job with all his yearlings this year, and I was particularly impressed with lot 318, which is a Kermadec colt. As much like Kermadec as any of I've seen, I think, particularly around the head. He's just so reminiscent of his father around the head. Kermadec's a beautiful looking horse, and this horse very much reminds me of his father. He's a scopy horse. He's not going to be an early 2-year-old, I wouldn't have thought, but he's got the scope and the stretch to be the elite 3-year-old that his father was. So look, he's a nice moving colt. He's a great colour. He's strong. I like the horse a lot. He's out of a Canny Lad mare, and as we all know, Canny Lad's one of the great broodmare sires of Australia. Sire of the Dams of Redout's Choice and I'm Invincible, just to name a couple. So we've been promoting Kermadec as a sire who can get you a weight for age horse, because that's what he was. He was a Doncaster winner at 3, an open Group 1 weight for age performer over a mile at Randwick. That's as good as it gets as a 4-year-old. He was rated second to Winx. He comes from the same generation as the mighty Winx. Rated second to her in Australia as a 4-year-old. That's no mean feat. That means he was the best male going around of his generation as a 4-year-old. Weight for age performer, I reckon this colt looks like he could be the same. Weight for age prize money is so significant in Australia. There's a lot of fixation on 2-year-olds and 2-year-old racing and prize money associated with that. But when you look at the actual figures, about half the prize money for Australian group racing is allocated to races run over a mile and further. That's the sort of horse that Kermadec will give you. So you're competing in a smaller pool essentially, because there's so many of these sprinter milers bred that you get a horse like Kermadec who's probably going to get you a mile and maybe a mile and a quarter horse. Then you're, as I said, you're racing in a smaller pool for the same amount of money as all the rest of them.